pulled the trigger when I reported to Boston in the very early part of the war to take command of a corvette. They had empty Portsmouth, and that was my crew. Anybody who even vaguely could be let off from serving 7 years in accessories, which is to say denial of citizenship, anybody who had any vaguest idea that he might not immediately kill an officer, you know, he might wait for a few days, why, they had scraped together and thrown together one corvette crew. Oh, dear. It was quite amusing. I saw them come aboard, and they were dirty, and they were ragged, and their hammocks were all muddy, and, ooh, boy, this was a real foul bunch. Well, I looked through the service records. Summary court-martial, deck court-martial, summary court-martial, general court-martial, general court-martial, summary court-martial, and sentence suspended. Sentence suspended in view of the fact that he has volunteered for sea duty. Well, you'd have thought that had been the crummiest ship in the Navy. Funny part of it was that individually, these people were terrible. But collectively, they presented a front which could be very dangerous to an environment. You see that? All they had to do was simply look around and recognize in themselves that we had a social group here that might, because of its numerical superiority, have a chance. They had to recognize that. When they recognized that, they straightened up, and you never saw such a crew in your life. This crew, by the way, almost starved an officer to death one day. We were going out and testing a new weapon against submarines, and this officer reported aboard to observe this new weapon. And I saw him a couple of times briefly, and then noticed he wasn't eating in the wardroom, and he wasn't eating any place, and Lord knows where he'd been bedded down. And I finally said to one of the boys up on the bridge, I said, "What have you done with Mr. So-and-so?" Silence. So I finally sent for a bosun and had this guy chased down. They'd bedded him down in a chain locker. And, yeah, that's right. They said that was the only available stateroom. It was a very wet and miserable place. And they had said, well, corvettes out at sea didn't serve much hot food. They generally served K rations. And the boys had stolen some off the Army.